We begin today's wrestling news and rumors video with a bit of news regarding Mandy Rose, and more so Mandy's status in WWE, because as some of you are likely aware, Mandy Rose was spotted in NXT last night, and lots of fans are now wondering if Mandy Rose's appearance in NXT was a one-off kind of scenario, or if WWE intend for Mandy Rose to be moved from the main roster and Monday Night Raw to NXT as a permanent move. Now, according to a new backstage report, Vince McMahon and WWE are actually surprisingly planning for Mandy Rose to be moved from Raw to NXT as a bit of a roster trade of sorts, with WWE planning for current NXT Women's Division wrestler Aaliyah to then be moved over to Monday Night Raw in Mandy Rose's place. One source mentioned that Mandy Rose's move down to NXT is a full-time thing, meaning that Mandy's time on Raw is officially over, which definitely does come as a bit of a shock for many fans, seeing as though Mandy Rose had been doing her thing on Raw alongside Dana Brooke as a tag team in the relatively shallow women's tag team division, and were setting their sights on Tamina and Natalya's women's tag team championships. While this is certainly good news for Aaliyah, as she will get a chance to make a big statement in Monday Night Raw's women's division moving forward, a lot of fans have the following question: what is going to happen with Dana Brooke? Now, while Dana Brooke is by no means at the top of the women's division in WWE, or will likely ever be given a push into women's title contention, Dana was still doing pretty well with Mandy Rose as a team on Raw, and now there is a lot of uncertainty regarding Dana Brooke's future in WWE following Mandy Rose's move from Raw to NXT. A new backstage report has indicated that Dana Brooke could actually be getting released or let go from WWE in the coming weeks, and that this already had been talked about behind the scenes in WWE, hence why Mandy Rose was moved to NXT as of yesterday. And in all honesty, this is not too surprising that WWE could be considering to release Dana Brooke, because this year has been full of releases, with some of them being pretty big and significant. And Dana Brooke being let go would not shock too many fans, especially taking into account the fact that Vince just does not seem interested in utilizing Dana Brooke in any meaningful way, aside from various tag teams. Now, as for Aaliyah, apparently Vince McMahon has been planning Aaliyah's move from NXT to the main roster for about a month now, and that she had made a good impression on some high-profile WWE officials recently, thus leading to the company deciding to move Aaliyah up to Monday Night Raw. There currently isn't any word on when exactly Aaliyah will be moving up to Raw, but it should occur within the next couple of weeks, perhaps as early as the Raw episode after Money in the Bank 2021 next week. Again, this roster trade could definitely benefit both Mandy Rose and Aaliyah, but it does not seem like good news for Dana Brooke. And let us know your thoughts and opinions of Mandy Rose being moved over to NXT as of last night, with Aaliyah then being moved up to the main roster in her place. And what are your thoughts on the rumors that Dana Brooke could be getting released from WWE after being split up from Mandy Rose? Should WWE decide to keep Dana Brooke under contract, and perhaps try to form a new tag team with Dana, or have her return to the women's division as a singles competitor? Or do you feel like the best option is possibly for Dana Brooke to be released, and try her luck in another wrestling promotion where she may get more chances to succeed? Because by all means, Dana Brooke has been putting in the work to improve in the ring recently, and Dana could be an asset for another wrestling organization. We now have a very big rumor heading into the upcoming Money in the Bank 2021 pay-per-view event this coming weekend, and more so a huge return that could be happening following the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns' Universal title defense against Edge. As many of you are well aware by now, all signs point to WWE having Roman Reigns face off against a returning John Cena at SummerSlam 2021 for the Universal Championship, with Edge then moving on to a feud against Seth Rollins for the biggest party of the summer. And the only real question recently has been, when is John Cena going to be returning to WWE? Well, if a new shocking backstage rumor proves to be true, the 16-time WWE World Champion John Cena could shockingly be returning to WWE at Money in the Bank 2021 to confront Roman Reigns, likely after Roman successfully defends his Universal Championship against Edge, with a bit of assistance from the Usos or Seth Rollins. The WWE don't have too much time before SummerSlam comes around, and Vince McMahon reportedly feels having John Cena return at the first pay-per-view event with fans, that being Money in the Bank 2021, to confront Roman Reigns and set his sights on the Universal Championship is the perfect storyline swerve, and would instantly get things in motion for Roman to face off against John Cena at SummerSlam 2021. It has been a long time coming for John Cena to return to WWE, and there really could not be a bigger way for John to re-emerge in WWE by setting his sights on Roman Reigns' Universal title. And with the WWE previously revealing that they are planning a lot of big surprises for Money in the Bank 2021, John Cena's return is likely one of them. There is a new big rumor regarding Sasha Banks heading into the Money in the Bank 2021 weekend. As most of you are probably aware, Sasha Banks will be returning this week on Friday Night SmackDown, and while Sasha Banks is not currently involved in the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match this year, that could all shockingly change on the day of Money in the Bank. A new shocking backstage rumor has speculated that WWE could be planning a huge swerve at Money in the Bank, with Sasha Banks replacing one of the participants in the 2021 Women's Money in the Bank ladder match, with one report speculating that Sasha Banks could be replacing Liv Morgan in the Money in the Bank ladder match, after Liv Morgan would be attacked backstage. And Sasha Banks would not surprisingly then go on to win the Women's Money in the Bank briefcase and contract, and have a relatively easy path to regaining her SmackDown Women's Championship from Bianca Belair, while at the same time building up some underdog momentum for Liv Morgan, who would have a lot of fan support after her opportunity would be taken away by Sasha Banks. However, this is just rumors and speculation right now, although it is promising that Sasha Banks will somehow be a part of Money in the Bank 2021, and possibly in a huge way. While the odds may be stacked against Kofi Kingston heading into Money in the Bank 2021, fans may need to get ready for a huge surprise or upset win this Sunday, in regards to the WWE Championship match between the defending champion Bobby Lashley against challenger Kofi Kingston. A new behind-the-scenes rumor has leaked that WWE may shockingly be planning for Kofi Kingston to score a massive upset win against Bobby Lashley at Money in the Bank 2021, and win the WWE Championship from Lashley, likely with a bit of help from his New Day members, specifically Big E. Like we had mentioned before, Big E is the front runner right now to go on to win the men's Money in the Bank ladder match and win the coveted briefcase and contract. And the rumor states that Big E would end up helping Kofi Kingston win the WWE title from Bobby Lashley, although the dynamic after Kofi would win the title would be very intriguing, as Big E would be the Money in the Bank briefcase holder and could theoretically cash in on Kofi Kingston at any point. With recent rumors suggesting that Vince McMahon is planning to move Big E over from SmackDown to Raw in the coming months, a likely scenario will see Big E move over to Raw with the Money in the Bank contract, and eventually turn heel on the New Day and cash in the briefcase to win the WWE Championship from Kofi Kingston, a storyline angle that WWE feel would draw big ratings for the Raw brand.